Trip After Party on the Power Trip Podcast Network.
And it is the 19th of June. It's 9:03. It's the After Party Podcast on the Power Trip Morning Show. By far, by about 1 million, the hardest, in my opinion, edition of the Initials game ever.
Yeah.
Good.
Seriously,
That's a good thing.
Really, really hard today.
Well, so in the last 6 months, I've tried to find more song titles that I think are gettable. Two things I've learned. I can't believe how rare it is to have a big hit with just 2 words. That's number one. You would think it's way more common than that, but apparently it's not.
Right.
Or at least from artists or bands that are big enough for you guys to all know. This one was just like a treasure trove. Though, like BM had 4 that I thought I could use, and there were 2 or 3 others. And I'm like, those are close. I could have done a very music heavy bit, and the fact that Blind Melon was in there too. That's at least 5 out of the 12 were musically themed.
Well, and this isn't.
What's the Soup Connection?
That was the name of the album. That was the big. This
is
deal.
far from a complaint, because we all have our strengths and weaknesses as far as topics. Mm-hmm. I'm out, especially if it goes historical music.
Sure.
If it wasn't in my junior high and
do you know?
and on.
Let's go through them quickly and just be honest. Do you know? Would you have known Brass Monkey if we gave you 1,000 clues?
Yes, I would have eventually got it, and I probably could have gotten it at the 6th clue, but. I'm familiar with that song, but I didn't
got it.
I probably saw the music video, but it's in there. I never listened to it because I was probably too young.
What about Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi?
I'm sure I recognize it, but I could not answer those questions. No. Blind Melon. Again, that's there. I know who that is. I wouldn't have been able to piece it together.
Blue Monday, do anything for you?
Blue Monday, I could have gotten.
You know the orgy version, right?
Yeah,
we played.
Who's the other one?
Blue Monday, New Order, right?
New Order.
Yeah, it does the original.
Better Man,
awesome.
The same sort of thing. That was not my vibe. In my lifetime, I'm familiar with it, but it just
gotcha.
If it didn't hit me in stride, and at that point in my life too, admittedly, I was a bit sheltered growing up. So Pearl Jam wasn't on my radar when it was on everybody else's radar. It is now as an adult, and I can look back and see these good music. But at the time, it just was not part of my circle of friends. It wasn't, whatever.
That's just how it works. The other thing that we had 2 of today that I would argue is maybe my favorite clues to write is when we have athletes' nicknames. Because I can almost just fucking tell you what they did.
For sure.
And you still can't get it. Because when I said hit 32 home runs in 2000... That's what Mark McGwire did in 2000. He hit 32, but you're thinking...
But nobody knows that, though.
Right, exactly.
Everyone
so you're
thinks
who the hell...
62
So you're
or...
thinking, right, so we did. I've done that with Big Poppy. I did that with Beast Mode today, Big Mac.
Were the birthdays Mark McGwire's birthday and then the birth of the Big Mac?
Well, one of them was when the Big Mac debuted in Pittsburgh, and then the other one was when Mark McGwire debuted in baseball in 1986.
Yeah.
So those are maybe my favorite clues to write, because, again, I could almost, I can clue number 1. I could say, has hit over 500 career home runs. You'd be like, who the fuck is that? Right? Because you're thinking whose initials are BM. But I love it when it's a nickname because it just totally trips you guys out.
I'm done writing stuff down, too. I have to try something different next week because...
when did you stop doing that, Chris? When did you stop writing stuff down?
I a long time ago.
A long time ago?
A couple different things that I need to change tactically, because I think that the game has changed slightly, and it's just an iteration of it. It's not whatever. But that's one of them. Is I take my other tactic, I think, and I write it down, and then I get it stuck, and I try to fit it in, and it just throws me off, and it doesn't let me free think, and I think that causes me issues. So I'm next week will be the first week of the Initials game period. 313 times, number 314
not writing
will be the first
down.
one that I'm not going to write it down.
I wonder.
Maybe I'll do write the initials down so I don't forget and be stupid and ring in like Mark Pehrge. But
AJ and I talked about it, but I believe his issue right now is he's still trying to predict what you're going to use for clues.
Sure.
So instead of writing down things he immediately thinks of, he is writing down things he thinks you would think of.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's your mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think over time you have moved away from that, or maybe noticed that tick. I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
Today I was 100% sure you of all people were going to find a way to squeeze Beer Me in there. Because of your affiliation or affinity for The Office.
Sure.
Billy Madison, you pulled a random, let's go to the zoo, or whatever the quote was from Billy Madison today.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's no effing way that was an accident.
Right.
And I'm trying to get cute specifically with your brain, and I think you're doing the opposite right now. So I need to, I just need to play it straight up.
Yeah.
I was telling Sauce.
Straight up.
I was telling Sauce off air. I probably end up re-listening to it twice during the week, just because I have to listen to it once again to keep track of all the stats.
Yeah.
But then I do if I have a 15, 20-minute drive and there's nothing on. I've listened to that Stern episode. Whatever. There's just nothing that I'm grabbing onto. I'll re-listen to it again just to self-evaluate. Like, all right,
self-scouting.
Sauce got that on Clue 1. Like. And over the course of the last 6 years, I can realize, man, why did I do that clue? That clue's never going to sneak through one clue with these guys. So,
sometimes it just doesn't, and it can't.
Right.
But
well, that was like the Baker Mayfield one. I thought they would get a little bit further than you guys.
Man, I was racking my brain for NASCAR drivers because recently the Confederate flag stuff. But you guys had mentioned that it also was brought up a year or two ago, and everyone shot it down. Times have changed.
Sure.
But, man,
when was the last time AJ got shut out? That was a shutout today.
Probably more recently than you think.
You were like a split second behind. Was that Beast Mode?
Yeah.
Beast Mode,
right after the buzzer.
If I had felt like I had a chance, I would have argued it, but I did.
Sure.
I didn't. It just was...
Yeah, fucking hard, man.
Dude, Sauce had 3 or 4, though, that were... puzzles, right?
You know what was
it's
tough?
not like he waited for it to be like said. You figured out the puzzle. Like out of your 5, probably
the foldable box or whatever you said. That
collapsible cardboard box.
That was brilliant. I've
Yes,
eaten
Zach.
a lot of those.
Last time AJ got shut out was September 27, 2019. Creasel was also a player in that. Also, Andy was in there as well.
Yeah.
And Creasel won with 6.
That was TP.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know why I remember that? Because I listened to all of these about twice. But I remember that because the first point was the Pehrge. And Andy was like, the Pehrge. And I temporarily was like, no, you did not pronounce that correctly. And I will never forget. Sauce goes, Paul, the Pehrge. And I hit the buzzer on you too, and you're like, what the hell? And I'm like, Andy got the fucking point. It's the Pehrge. He just said it British.
Yeah.
The Beast Mode one threw me off because my mind went Skittles and it went to Michael Beasley, which was the initials reversed or inversed, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's got to be it. But it doesn't. How did it? In my head, it fit, but it didn't fit, and I couldn't piece it together quick enough.
I just figured I am Marshawn Lynch. Applebee's and Skittles both kick ass.
Yeah.
He
I didn't know
gets
that
it, man.
about Applebee's.
Oh yeah, he loves
know that either,
chain restaurants. He's not one of those like let's go to 5-star restaurants.
Sure.
He just likes American
Does he
chain
invest in
restaurants, and he's just a
Applebee's?
simple dude. He's a good dude, man.
I like Applebee's.
How can you not?
Worked
man?
there for 8 years.
Half price apps. 8 years. I knew you worked there, but 8 years.
High school.
I didn't know
last
that.
year and a half of high school, through college, and then a couple years afterwards.
Dude, had no idea.
Yeah.
8 years at Applebee's.
Yeah, and on Snelling. And so the one I worked at in college was Roseville. So you're right on Snelling. You're right between about 18 different colleges.
Yeah.
Half-price appetizers, parties of 30 college kids who would get water and 4 appetizers
No
each.
tips.
And barely, it was just... I mean, it
Nightmare.
is what it is, and there's a million complaints in the restaurant industry. But that was the catch. There is happy hour at the college Applebee's were not where you would profit.
Zach.
That was in 286 now currently games played for AJ Mansour, just his 7th shutout in his
7th out
career.
of 286, huh?
Just pretty badass.
Wow.
That's an interesting stat, by the way. We should find that for all the guys. How many
Pehrge
shutouts?
is probably
Pehrge has
305.
But I mean, I wonder how many times the two of you have been shut out.
6
Right.
for Sauce still.
6?
6 and 7. Okay.
That's not very many, Sauce. 6
Yeah.
shutouts.
I
What
don't
about
know.
Hawk? Can you look that up quickly?
13.
13? That's not that
That's
bad.
not bad.
You didn't get
no.
shut out today, did you?
No, I got
he
one.
got-
His
bad
parish
medicine.
is over 50.
Yeah, he's played probably 200 at least.
But he's got. Remember for about a year and a half.
201 today after today.
He had a lot of second place runs.
He had like a year and a half where all he did was get second place. He would sneak a win in there, but he would get second or third all the time.
He
so
has 63 second place finishes.
Oof.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say
That's crazy.
63 second places. He has 20 wins. That's 80. I'm going to go like 43.
Shutouts?
Yeah, I think it's over 40.
I bet
yeah.
it's
15.
I bet it's less than we think. I bet
Yeah.
it's 27.
He almost
No
always got
fucking
one.
way.
Is that what it is?
Exactly.
All right, that was
How
a
many
guess.
was it?
How did you
27.
nail that?
Wow.
27.
Nice job, Core.
Paul, we thought he was dumb.
Yeah, I thought he was really dumb. I said 50.
something else when it comes to stats and stuff like that, and this is directly from Zach's Twitter page. But how about the fact that Brie Larson was trending in Minnesota and North Dakota today?
Yeah. Because we mentioned her.
Because we mentioned her.
And I made you Google her because you didn't remember what she wore when she filled in for Kimmel, and everybody that listened
Everybody in
Googled
Minnesota and North Dakota did. I mean, the spike was at about...
It's crazy.
It looks like it's probably 7:05 or something like that whenever we mentioned it. Maybe a little later than maybe 7:15.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Our entire fan base went straight to Google and went, I got to see what she wore.
Yeah.
And then they all crapped their pants and went back down to earth.
And by the way, related topics as far as breakout, Kelly Clarkson is on there.
No kidding.
So
That's great. Wow.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So
basically,
dress garment
from 5:30 to 9 Monday through Friday, we power Google in the Upper Midwest.
Wow.
Like Google should be thanking us for every topic we bring up that's especially image related. But Brie Larson, I mean, come on.
My God, dude.
How perfection is she?
That's
phenomenal.
a pretty girl.
She's
man.
a great actress, too. A movie...
I never saw The Room.
Yeah.
No, wait, Room, right? It's just called Room.
Yeah, because
The Room is with Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau, who's here.
The great.
Okay, that's...
You got me off guard. I don't normally do
Oh,
Tommy
hi,
Wiseau.
Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
I do that,
Room
don't I?
depressing as shit? Doesn't she
Yeah.
get, like, raped and then raise the kid, like, in captivity, basically? She's, like, in a hostage situation or kidnapping situation?
Yeah.
That sounds... That's super... What's the name of that kid again? Wasn't that kid, like, nominated?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Jacob something?
DeGrom?
No, he pitches, I think. Jacob... How was that kid's
You're gonna
last
throw
name?
your back out
Jacob
again.
something.
Did you just
In
yell
the
hot?
room?
Yeah,
Did somebody snap
Jacob.
the
I
ball?
can picture his face.
Look it up and see if it's guessable. IMDb.
Jacob.
Who? Think candy stores.
Candy stores.
Jacob DeHershey?
Willy Wonka?
Maybe think local candy stores. That might be local.
Oh, yeah, Jacob Big Yellow Barn?
Yeah.
Jacob Tremblay.
I don't even know.
fuck?
What's the
Tremblay?
Tremblay bit? I don't know that reference at all.
Duluth and Stillwater, Tremblays.
Never
it's
heard
the
of it,
candy
no.
store like on Main Street, Stillwater.
Never heard of it. I've been to
Really?
Stillwater, just don't know it.
Oh man, you walk by and they're making peanut brittle like in the window.
I fucking love peanut brittle.
I'm the only
Yeah.
one who knows that reference.
Dude, that
I love peanut brittle.
you're the
what's-
peanut brittle from
oh, shoot.
Willette's is the best I've ever
Yeah,
had.
yeah,
I'm not
it's
just
so
saying
good.
that because they used to do a lot of advertising on this station.
what's
I
the-
freaking love
Yeah.
that peanut brittle. Almost to the point when Willette's was dropping it off for like every other week, I legitimately got mad because I knew I was not going to be able to stop eating it. Like, don't bring it.
Yeah.
There's one in
I'm going to
Hayward,
eat the
Wisconsin.
whole
They used to
thing.
bring it for you.
I know because it's
Yeah.
that good, but
Yeah.
like it's to the point where I get mad. Because it's not one. I'm going to have one piece of peanut brittle. I'm going to eat the whole box.
And it doesn't.
Button bar.
It doesn't go bad. Like I'm sure it does, but
Not anytime
It
soon,
doesn't
though.
go like we had some
Love
and we
it.
didn't eat it for like a
It's
week.
so good.
And it was
I
wasn't
love it.
stale.
That's the Dells, right, Hawk? Right? Peanut brittle and fudge, man.
You better believe it, man.
Dells.
The fudge, jeez.
I bet you there's the Tremblays, whatever candy store in the Dells.
My daughter's so bummed we're not going to the Dells this year.
Oh,
and by the way, by we I mean even if they open back up and it looks like they're starting to open them.
Yeah.
My wife's like, you're not taking her. I'm like, why? We both want to go. She doesn't give a shit. She's 6, and I'm like, I'd take her to the Dells in like August. Right? I don't have to worry about the state fair this year. Let's just go to the Dells. You're not taking her. She's like, 100% shut it down. Not going this year. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're waiting a year. Which is fun. Mom's the bad guy because Dad wants to take
Yeah,
you.
it's true, right.
Mom
Yeah,
says you don't get to go to water slides. Explain that one.
You have to build her a water slide in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm sure I have to fucking pay for it at least.
Yeah, they have these giant slip and slides these days, man.
We have one.
Do you have one?
We have it's a like an inflatable bouncy house kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
But it has a you climb a little mountain wall, and then there's the hose. It splits in two. There's like a wired system within the thing, and one route goes up to the top of the slide where it fills this like bucket. Like if you've ever been to Great Wolf Lodge, there's a giant
Sure,
bucket.
yeah.
Fills a bucket that tips once it gets too
Nice,
heavy
yeah.
onto the slide, and
best.
it wets the slide. And then there's like a squirt gun, but it's a pool at the bottom. So it's like a pool and a water slide.
It's the best.
It's freaking awesome. We have invested, especially this year with everything shut down, in that sort of crap.
Yeah.
We got a projector and an inflatable movie screen that will debut tonight. We're doing like a neighborhood drive-in kind of.
Sophie's Choice.
Have the kids bring their Power Wheels over.
Schindler's List.
And
What are you
pull
watching?
in.
Houston 500.
We haven't decided yet, but we played
Eyes Wide Shut?
Super Mario Maker on the garage the other day before the screen came. I blew the screen up yesterday. It's a 12-foot diameter.
Yeah.
Which in my head I'm thinking,
inflatable,
okay,
sure.
it's this big, whatever. But the inflatable thing is 4 feet off the ground before the screen starts, and then another foot and a half above it. So the inflatable thing is probably 16 feet or higher. And I blew it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? But I'm gonna have to like anchor it and stuff because if the wind catches it the wrong way, but. It'll be fun. We'll play video games with the kids. We got Just Dance, socially distanced Just Dance, where each family gets their own like square on the concrete driveway.
Wow!
So
Can
they
you
can stay
imagine what
separated.
Creasel and his boys would do with that in their neighborhood?
Yeah.
That would be in the gazebo with porn 24 hours
Of course, yeah.
That
Come
popcorn
over to the
machine,
gazebo.
the popcorn machine I've had in my office that has not been used for 2 years is now on a popcorn machine cart that Abby built
Nice.
that we can roll out. So
That sounds like fun.
it's going to be fun, and it's because we can't do anything else. So
Right.
let's be the house where people come to, and then I don't have to worry about my kid getting in trouble with the
Not
neighbors.
as much as you'd think. I'm getting really into wine, but yeah.
a day. Why? Does we like wine?
SF.
We
Does not drink?
Sara Foster.
Sally Field? Are you
she's-
dating
oh my
Sally
gosh!
Field?
You know how mad you'd be?
I'd be super pissed. Got some pics?
You'd bang Sally Field?
I'd make love to her.
She's got to be pretty old now, right?
Yeah,
That's his
Like,
thing.
how old though?
it doesn't. I mean, I got a tiny wiener. I'm not going to hurt her. I don't know. I bet she's 80.
That lady's vagina we were looking at earlier.
What?
I'm.
This is before you got here.
Okay.
I mean, Chris would. He just wouldn't like it.
And she wouldn't either, to be honest with you.
Chris, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Of course he would. She's famous.
Oh, Chris, come
You know
on.
what? Here's the thing, Zach. If I get the opportunity, I'll call you first and we'll discuss.
Please, just think about it.
Hang on, excuse me, miss. I need to consult my
Life coach.
Hey, Zach, should I do this or not? And there's no way you'd be like, don't do it.
Yeah, it's actually.
No, I absolutely would.
No, yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, of course.
Clearly, I don't know what you're talking about, but think of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Right?
course. That's what it's all about. Life's about
That's your
stories.
life MO.
This is going to be super gross, but just think about this. That could be what her face looks like, and you would say yes.
Yeah,
like a demo
that's
organ?
true.
It does look like a mouth in some
He
ways.
did. Yeah,
Come on.
he did tell. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stories you can't even tell.
Yeah.
By the way, weren't you going to say?
There was something you were going to joke you were going to say.
A joke that you were going to say.
Oh, yeah,
off
yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's not even airable on the.
Yeah, it's
party.
after. Yeah, it's
Oh,
terrible
it's
on
not.
this.
Oh, see, I thought you didn't want to say it because it was like fireable.
Oh, if I'd said it on the air, it'd be fireable.
Just
set
because
up-
of
yeah, yeah.
okay, so
Set it up
it's-
again. What were we talking about?
Yeah.
We were talking about a picture that. And by the way, I wasn't the one that found you. No, you.
He
It was
brought
Zach.
it up.
Zach
Yeah.
brought it up on the trip to South Dakota, and it almost put me off burritos. That's how bad it is. And it's a lady, and it's she's obviously spent some time with a very well endowed gentleman. Okay, and she's semi famous. And I said,
In that world, or like just famous?
no,
actress?
she's not one of those actresses.
Okay.
No, and so it brought to mind a joke that if
No. Is this a Vernie hockey joke?
I won't
It's a
credit
Marty Funkhauser-esque joke.
correct, yeah. But the story is the joke is kind of it's more of a saying is if I can't touch the back, it's my fault. If I can't touch the sides, it's yours.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
That's a good line. That's a really good line.
I wonder where you heard that.
No.
Probably from Halverson.
Probably from my own brain.
Yes, master, I found a joke for you.
Yeah.
I have delivered you your joke, master.
They're wearing the same shirt.
Of course.
Why
and
do you
again,
say that? No,
not.
mine's
No, they
Eddie
are.
Bauer.
But they're both,
not.
those are both
He's got-
fishing shirts.
No, this is not a fishing
Yes,
shirt.
they are.
They're
You know
fishing
why
shirts.
they-
That
Look
one
at yours.
definitely
You
is.
have
This is not.
Yeah, that's a fly fishing
Yeah, you put your
Yours is
fucking
a-
lures in that pocket.
Correct.
This is not a fishing shirt. Son of a bitch.
Zach's is more of a fishing shirt than Chris is.
I don't have any Velcro on my goddamn shirt.
Volcro?
Velcro, yeah.
The Volcamore?
Isn't that where Superman's from? No,
It's a skateboard
that's
brand, I
definitely
think.
a fishing shirt. It looks great on you, by the way. I love that shirt.
I'm not ripping it.
Yeah, but
I don't like fucking fish.
Wear it when you're on Channel 4 tonight.
What brand is that? Paul, look at the tag.
It's Columbia.
You say Rapala? What?
Columbia.
Yeah, that's Field and Stream.
Which Hockey thought was a porn website.
Yeah, you get pissed on in a field.
Yeah. So it's like being at Woodstock.
Very similar. Oh, by the way, I went down the rabbit hole last night. I don't know why. I was watching videos of Limp Bizkit from '99's Woodstock.
Oh,
holy
why?
shit!
That was like one of the worst times in musical history.
You can't believe how far back the crowd goes. It just goes on forever.
That's the coolest thing.
But again, think about this. Rip Limp Bizkit all you want. Think about this for a second. That was their peak, right? 1999 after Significant Other, right? That was prime Bizkit.
They were the headliners.
No, they were on during the day.
It wasn't dark yet. Yeah, it was still during the day. But if you look at the sidelines, if you look at the sides of the stages, Kid Rock's standing there watching them. Puff Daddy's standing there watching them. All the guys from Korn, like all of these big names are just standing there like, how the fuck are you doing this? Because they owned that crowd, right? Like 200,000 people losing their losing their mind to everything Fred does. And it's just fucking ridiculous. Although Wes has never looked cooler, right? With this like black robe and
the white
like
eyes.
black eyes. And yeah, he
Black
just
eyes.
looks so cool. Just shredding. And Fred's being an idiot. But they had A-listers just wanting to see what they did because they were such a big deal.
Speaking, Zach
Such
pulled
a
up
big
the
deal.
Google Trends thing. If something like that existed, and I'm sure it does somewhere, but it was on paper form back then, of like the sales of was it a Red Sox hat? What was it? It was a red.
Wasn't it a Yankees hat?
Whatever.
Didn't Fred wear a Yankees hat?
Whatever it was.
It was a
It was
Yankees hat.
iconic. Like
Yeah.
the to see a peak in sales of red new era flat brim hats, whatever at that era, I'm sure it was through the roof.
Yeah, it must
because
have been
that was a look.
Every
Like,
Bizkit
everybody-
fan in the world was
yeah.
buying that just to look like Fred. Yep. Those videos are just so much fun, though. I just honestly, I can't even imagine what that's like. Where you're like 40 yards from the first fan because the stage is so big,
Yeah.
and the gap between the stage and the fans with security, all that stuff. You got to throw a football to hit the first fan, but then you can't see the back of the fans. It goes so
and
far.
then it just became anarchy.
Yeah, and you should see when they start
It got
playing
really
break
bad.
stuff and this giant, not even a mosh pit. What is it called when it like
That's
swirls?
cool when you see it when you
like
see
a
it from a
circle pit.
distance.
And even Fred just like stops and stares at it like, uh-oh. Because it is like 70
It's like a
people
tornado.
deep in
Somebody
a tornado.
falls and you're toast.
And it looks
Yeah.
exactly. If
And people
anybody
did.
falls, they're dead.
Yeah.
Because Bizkit's fans aren't stopping to pick up little Johnny or
But
Timmy.
you're not going to notice. Even
you just get trampled.
whether they're good people or bad people, you're not going to notice.
Dear God. Oof.
Man.
Anyway.
But wasn't Zach? Didn't you told me you listened to a podcast not too long ago? Wasn't the really bad stuff the next day though?
Yeah,
Like
well,
the-
that's when the riots
The
actually
riots and the
came.
fire and stuff
fire
like that. Yeah,
and-
right,
Yeah,
right.
a lot of people
Assaults
think it
and
was
stuff.
the night before, but yeah,
No, it was the next day. Yeah,
next day. And
They get blamed for it, though. Like
Yeah,
if
they
you
sure
read,
do.
if you read articles, it's basically
yeah.
that was when the shit started. At
Well,
least
people were pissed because everything was so fucking expensive.
like waters, right? Where it's, like,
Waters and food,
insanely
and there were
expensive.
like barely any bathrooms, and it was just a horribly run situation.
yeah, there's some major issues just from the fact that it was on a Air Force like tarmac like runway.
It was a
so
heat.
there was no, it was like in the 90s all weekend. Sauce mentioned the water was $5 a bottle. And the as you mentioned, the food wasn't much cheaper. And then there was the fact that again there was no trees, there was no shade. The bathroom
You're being
situation
baked in an oven because it's coming from the top and the bottom. If
Right.
it's a tar,
one thing you
runaway.
probably saw in those videos, Corey, was like a giant wood like thing from one of the camera stands that was it was ripped off and sent forward. And then of course the big issue was dehydration and
No water,
no water. They had a pretty much though a working hospital on site with X-ray machines, a whole tent like with doctors and
Just
trauma
crazy.
and all that stuff. So
were they prepared with that, or did they react?
No, they had it.
scenario-ly
They
put that?
prepared it.
Okay.
So, but they didn't prepare for everything, and there was some major issues, and everything.
They
came
didn't
to a
flatten
head.
the curve.
No.
Fun.
Went
right.
No,
all in
exactly.
2 days.
wow.
All right.
By the way, Woodstock 2020 is canceled. I think.
Oh, shocking.
No.
There
I didn't
was
even
one.
know it was.
Yeah, and I don't think that had anything to do with COVID either. I think it
No.
was canceled before that. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't- was that the 50th anniversary, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know it was a thing.
you guys, you know what I'm gonna do all weekend?
Motorcycle ride.
No, I do want to do that at some point. But
Water your lawn.
no, God did that last night. Cam said, "What do you want for Father's Day?" And I said, "I just want a giant dumpster in the in the front yard."
Nice.
So I am purging my darn house this weekend.
I can't tell you how much I would pay to let my wife let me do that.
Yeah.
Just let me throw shit away. I don't
doing
want
the Bagster bit or the.
No, I got a real.
The
I got a
dumpster.
20-footer, dude.
The dumpster.
Because not only am I doing my house, but I'm going to the storage unit that I rent as well.
Oh,
and finally
sure.
getting rid of shit that I don't need to store. Obviously,
mattresses and like you can get big stuff then. Yeah.
Oh, I've had this storage unit probably for about 8 years. I've been there, maybe 5 times a year. I never take shit out.
No, you don't need it.
I always
It's
put
stuff
shit
you don't
in there.
need.
So if it's been in there for 8 years,
You don't need
obviously
it.
I didn't need it.
Right, you're paying to not
Yeah.
throw stuff
See,
away. Think about that.
Hi, AJ. Yeah,
You're
no,
paying
exactly
to
right.
not throw it away.
So if I don't fill it all the way up, I'll let you guys know if you have any stuff you need thrown away.
Gotcha.
Because I got
That would
some-
be great.
Man, I am going to have some funsies this
Okay.
weekend. All right. Happy Father's Day, everybody, and happy
Bye.
Juneteenth. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.